Give a big hand for John Wayne is Dead.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm John Wayne. So I'm not a poet. I'm actually a horror author. So now there's something completely different. I write psychological horror, twists and turns. I really want you to be like, it was about that the whole time when you're reading my stuff. I've lived in downtown Las Vegas going on 3 years now. And so I wrote this book that came out recently on Thunderstorm Press. It's called Electric Cities and Neon Infection. And it's about, it's a fictionalized account of my experience with the homeless, the drugs, and the violence of living in downtown Las Vegas, and how just being in this town infects you. So where we pick up, our hero has just been burned on buying some drugs, and he's recalling what he's done to someone before he goes to dispense justice on the one who just burned him. You remember that not long ago, a runner working for Tad, Blake was his name, tried to push off a bunched up napkin tied in a bindle as an 8-ball on someone who knew better. The man, who came from Texas, wore boots and a cowboy hat, and Blake took him as an easy mark. He would be greedy and burn this one, keeping the money and the drugs for himself. Tad didn't care if his boys massaged prices to make a few extra bucks, as long as he got every dollar of his money first. The napkin trick wasn't new, but it was something Blake saved for the right people. And to him, this okey-doke, John Wayne-looking motherfucker was perfect. Looks can be deceiving, which Blake learned the hard way when he palmed the bindle to the tall Texan and attempted to disappear amidst the throng of chubby white zombies meandering along Fremont. Before the horde could absorb him, a cement brick of a hand landed heavily on his shoulder, clamping down before yanking Blake back from the brink of escape. The redneck he'd attempted to burn was far savvier than what his appearance projected, and he flicked the bindle in Blake's face, his fist not far behind. This Texas tourist beat the shit out of him right there on the street, and no one interfered with what they assumed was a brand of street justice they wanted nothing to do with. For most passerby, the act didn't even register as being out of the ordinary, just another flamboyant display of the ever-flowing tap of hot and cold running Vegas pageantry. This would-be gullible dipshit Mark made off with all of Blake's cash, the rest of his stash of real drugs. Blood leaked down his swollen face from a badly broken nose, and neon from the Golden Nugget sign reflected muted pastels in the electrified blood slosh. You see him days later. The bruises on his face mimic colors from the sign in garish glowing stripes of purple, yellow, and orange, branded by neon. Not branded, infected. You nod, and he reciprocates through noticeable nervous imagery. You bring up the bruises. You ask about the colors. You share your theory about the infection. You say, this is why his bruises are so colorful. This is what it does to someone's insides. But he curses you under his breath and walks away. You don't get a chance to tell him the infection is in his blood. The electric sickness spreads quickly through a person's system and continues on a loop, changing color with each complete cycle, hence the neon-hued bruises. You were going to tell him how it wasn't terminal, not technically at least, how everyone in the city gets it eventually, how you yourself have lived to live with it through mitigating forms of self-medication. You would have told him that the infection itself doesn't kill you, it gets you killed. It attacks the person's ego first, causing it to swell beyond containment, while suffocating the receptors in the brain meant to keep it in check. It happens just that fast, and you've seen it more than a few times. You know Blake's in denial. You saw it in his eyes before he walked away. You could call after him, try harder to warn him, but you don't. You're not surprised a week later when chunks of his brain drain out of his head in soupy day-glow colors across the dark sidewalk of a side street somewhere off the strip. They've been removed with the help of a .45 caliber revolver. You're .45 caliber revolver. The same one you always keep between the seats in the car, the one your hand is currently resting on as Tad opens the passenger side door. He steps out, turns, and gives you a half-assed wave before he closes the door. You watch him walk through the parking lot toward his car on the other side of the karaoke bar. One you've never heard of with a name you've already forgotten. With the windows in the car down, you hear a warbling off-key rendition of the Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge limp tonelessly through the open door of the bar. An unfortunate experience for all involved.
Yes.
Your eyes clear, and you point the revolver out the open passenger window. The time between you calling his name and pulling the trigger is just long enough for him to turn around before ultraviolet bands of neon light explode from the back of his head.
Damn, nice.
The music continues while liquid colors gush from the wound in a spray of gaudy rainbow glitter, and you realize that you hate the Red Hot Chili Peppers that much more.
Same.
Thank you. I do have books for sale. If you want, come grab me. I also forgot my pipe, so if anyone's getting high in the break, come grab me. Thanks.